Cruising with a Hat Homestead. My name is Jeff. And in today's video, this Eccotemp behind me there at my outdoor bathhouse, I'm going to be removing that. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to be winterizing my bathhouse. The reason being is it hit 35 degrees last night, even though today it's about 75. But it hit 35 degrees, and to me, that's my warning sign, and I need to remove this Eccotemp. As some of you know, the Eccotemp is very prone to freezing. It does not handle freezing temperatures very well at all. And the reason being is the tubing that's in there, the copper tubing, is very thin walled. That allows it to heat the water very efficiently. But the flip side is it's more prone to freezing and busting those pipes. Even though there is a drain valve in there, I still want to play it safe. This thing's 150 bucks. I don't have the money for another one, so I want to play it safe, and we're going to remove it. After all, during the winter, I'm not going to be taking a shower when it's 20 degrees outside. I'll be inside my trailer doing that. So just go ahead and start disassembling, if you will. Winterizing maybe is a better term, huh? So on this Eccotemp, this guy right here is the relief. So when I unscrew this, then it will drain the water line. But what I'm also going to do is I have a quick disconnect here and here, and this is my propane. I'll disconnect all of these, and then I'll lift this up and go put it somewhere where it's not going to freeze. That way I know that it's going to be in good shape. So I just unscrewed this, and it just pops right out, and the water drains. A little bit of the water already drained out. So now I'm going to take these guys off. So I unscrewed my propane, took that line off, and it looks like it was a good idea that I also removed these because additional water came through these lines here. So when you go to winterize your Eccotemp, not only with this screw pulling that out, but also remove your hoses as well. Don't leave your hoses connected. So now the Eccotemp is ready to be removed completely, but I'm not totally done because I also need to remove the water pump. So, and then I need to drain the lines. So let's go do the water pump. So this is my housing for the water pump, just to keep the rain off of it. So there's the water pump. So what I'm going to do is obviously remove these two lines here, and then I'll undo the wiring so that the wires won't be connected, obviously. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this pump and put both the pump and the Eccotemp in a location that during the winter will stay warm. So let's go ahead and remove this water pump. Now before I remove the water pump, what I needed to do was shut off the main valve from the tank. Then I'm going to open up this line here, which will allow all the water that's in the pipe to be released out. So there's no pressure that's built up in there, so nothing came out. I'm going to leave this open like this, so when the line does freeze, it gives the water at least an area to escape, because it's going to go to least resistance, and that will be out through there. So the wiring is all taken off. These lines are loose now, and when they loosen this line here, it obviously allowed this to flow a little easier. I also have this valve right here. That is the lowest point of my system, and so that's open there, so all the water in the lines will drain out through there. Therefore I won't have any water in the lines at all during the winter, even though this tubing right here is pretty flexible tubing, so it can handle some of the water freeze, but the plastic fittings like this cannot. So by me draining it, it just makes sure that there's no water in the lines at all. The only thing now left for me on this water pump This will just remove the 4 screws that are holding it in place. And then I'll go put this in the Eccotemp in the trailer somewhere and store it until springtime. Now, one additional thought is the water that's in this tank is going to freeze. What's going to happen is if it does freeze a little bit here, normally it's going to freeze up on top before it freezes down below. But when it does start to freeze a little bit, I've got some electronic heaters that I can actually hook up to the battery that I'm using for the water pump. So I still have a power source over here, and I could at least on a short-term basis apply a little bit of heat to this tank, and by doing so it will help keep this guy here from totally freezing, and that should be okay. And I can take that heater and I can actually drop it. I think it's actually big enough. I can drop it down through this pipe here, or I can actually just drop it down through this guy. But either way, I'll be able to make it work. And if the top thin layer freezes, I'm good with that. I just don't want it to freeze too much. It'll be one big old block of ice. And I'll show you that heater once that time period comes. So what I also did to winterize my lines here is I opened up both of these valves, and I also made sure all these valves here were open, and that allowed the rest of the water in the lines to go through that low point valve. I guess that's just because of a vapor lock. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but that's what I'm going with. That kind of released all the water through the lines and out that low point. So everything is now set and ready to go for the winter. My bathhouse has been winterized. Last night's temperatures were 35 degrees. So I guess I'm ready. Freeze, bring it on, Mr. Freeze. Thank you for watching my video today, and I appreciate you watching it all the way through there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Every little bit helps support my channel. My name is Jeff, and you've been watching Arizona Hot Homestead.